Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and I am playing April in the movie Little.
I am Regina Hall, and I play Big Jordan.
And I am Marsai Martin, and I play Little Jordan in the movie Little.
Today, we're going to be answering some questions, giving a little advice to women old and young alike.
Like me.
I'm sorry.
No, that was just a
I'm
range.
sorry.
It was an example.
Okay,
just for if you're super young or super old,
Wait
in the
a minute,
middle.
Hold on, I think we want to.
That's
hold
the
on.
advice that we're
Can
giving.
we cut that? I think.
No, I was telling them. You ready? Do you want to pull first, young?
Yeah. Here we go. How do you stay true to who you are when there's not much of your identity represented on screen?
For me, it was surrounding myself with people who look like me, and then making that kind of work, making the representation I wanted to see on screen.
You know, things I resonated with, like I've always been a little unique. So, you know, I find maybe there are pieces of people that remind me of myself in one character or another. It may not be like a full representation in one person, but I have a tendency to, you know, notice and enjoy that which is similar to me on whatever level.
Exactly, and I think that's why I'm doing the thing that I'm doing right now, is to inspire young girls that look like me and to see themselves represented on the big screen too.
Amen.
Amen. How do you assert yourself, especially if you're one of the only women in the room? Ooh.
Show them who you really are. Like, let your voice be heard, of course. Tell them how you feel, be comfortable in who you are, of course, and then people will listen.
Yeah, I try to be really even-tempered, you know, because people will always be like, women are so emotional, or calm down, or relax, or all these trigger words, so I don't want you to have any I want you to clearly listen to what I'm saying. And so I practice having an even temper when delivering what I have to say.
Yeah, I try to end up being like suggestive as opposed to demanding, so it feels like it's a collaborative idea as opposed to just mine, so that no one feels like usurped in their authority or their ego. So it's kind of like, I'm like, well, what do you think? As opposed to, well, I think. I kind of make it like something that it feels like we all come up with together.
My turn.
Oh wait, Issa can't read. Should we stop and then let me read it to her? Or do you want to just, let's wing it.
Yeah.
No, you try.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. You got this.
It's a long one too.
How do you balance being boss ladies, especially in an industry that's still predominantly run by men?
As women, there are suggestions that only we can make. There are perspectives that only we have. And so I think, even though it's predominantly run by men, learning how to show how important our voices are, how important our audience is, it's forcing the industry to be a little bit more collaborative and a little bit more cognizant of what we have to say.
And I tend to tip the scales. You know, the industry is run by men.
Yeah.
But I surround myself with a lot of women.
A lot of amazing
and
women.
that really, really helps.
Yeah.
How do you make sure your voice and opinions are heard, even when you might be nervous or intimidated to speak up?
Well, of course, I have parents. So I usually talk to them first and tell them how I feel, and then they would tell me how to, you know, say it in the most comfortable way possible and just tell me there's nothing to be afraid of. And at the end of it, there really isn't nothing to be afraid of, and you just gotta be confident in yourself.
I think you just have to do it, and you have to be okay with the outcome, you know, because sometimes you're afraid because you don't want to upset someone or you don't want to make anyone else uncomfortable, and you have to just move beyond the fear.
Yeah, I mean, I come across this all the time, and I tend to be nervous to speak up sometimes in public places, or I like to just hear out opinions first. I'm a pull you to the side person, and I might be like, okay, after everyone's done talking, I'm gonna talk to the person I need to talk to on the side.
What are your skincare routines?
I tear up my skin.
Yeah.
Skincare routine.
My skin tears, not cares.
Yeah. Yeah. I buy tips especially so I can scratch harder.
Yeah, but mine is like, it's called Sudafil? Is that Sudafil?
Cetaphil.
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 Gentle?
Yes.
Gentle?
Yes, gentle. And then I definitely try to drink a lot of water sometimes. Yeah, water's good. And then I just do a nice scrub, rinse it off, and then my face is nice and clear. So.
When my dog died, I had a very terrible breakout, which was stress. And that took about 1.5 years to literally clear up. I guess it triggered some stuff. According to the doctor. I don't know what
The
it's
doctor
called.
used that language.
Yeah, but in a normal day, I use a cleanser, and then I like a little vitamin C cream mixed with a little argan oil, and then a little eye cream.
I do none of those things. I need to. I'm taking notes. I tend to run really ashy.
But you genetically have good skin.
I'm lucky. Thank you to my parents.
Because you weren't going to thank them.
I wasn't going to thank them.
Okay.
You take them for granted, but thank you. But I'm going to take all those tips. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to use Cetaphil.
Yeah.
And the argan oil. And whatever
the
eye cream.
Any kind of eye cream, not too heavy.
Okay, because I am heavy-handed, so it's good to know.
What has been the toughest challenge you've had to overcome in the entertainment industry? Well, of course for me was being a kid and doing big things, you know? You're only 14, like you can't do this, you can't do that, because I actually was 10 when I pitched Little. So a lot of people didn't believe me, but of course when I worked with people who actually did and they trusted in me and my family, it all worked out really well. Look where we are now. So,
breaking into the industry is really, really hard, and sometimes it's about trying to find a secret entrance or a glitch in the system. That was the biggest challenge. And then even in breaking in, that doesn't mean you get to stay in. Like, it's a constant journey to continue to be able to work and to continue to challenge yourself. And so that's an ongoing challenge for me.
I think because I did comedy, I think when I started with Scary Movie, because it was the biggest thing, people saw me in one way. So for me, it was always, and people think I'm a comic, like comedian.
Oh, you don't do stand-up? I thought I saw you on tour.
You knew that.
No, I could have sworn I saw you on tour.
No, that was Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, that was Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah,
she's the funny one. Got it.
I think, that wasn't,
No, because I was saying, because she's she's a stand-up. No, I'm sorry, the rest of the question. Go ahead.
That wasn't what the point I was making.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. It's very difficult. This might be my biggest challenge, actually.
The toughest challenge in the entertainment industry.
But I think it was like continuing to diversify, so I never got looked at as just one thing, so that I could have a long career. What is the hardest part about dealing with Issa Rae?
That's not what the question says. I can't read well, but I can read that.
Okay, well, I thought that's what it said. Let me hold it back. Little centers around female friendships and handling conflict within them. What's the best way to navigate conflict between friends so that no one gets hurt and the friendship stays intact?
I'm still learning.
This is a good question.
Yeah.
You're at that age where it's super hard.
It's super hard for me,
Y'all are petty
dog.
at
There's
this
so
age.
much girl drama. I can't handle it. I try to.
And why do you think that is? Are they in the business or are they non-peers?
Well, I have friends that are in the business and some that aren't. Because of course you definitely need that balance.
I think too you have to surround yourself with people who don't want drama. A lot of times, you have to be conscious to be like, well, what kind of friendships are we creating? And you want to make sure that there's a safe space, and that really has to come from wanting the best for your friends.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, you have to work on that within yourself. But you can't want the best for your friend and then not speak that and not live that.
Yeah.
So I think you have to really work on being the kind of friend that you want to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is advice for me. I'm like, yeah.
There's a tendency when you have a conflict with somebody to tell the friend in the middle. And sometimes I'd be the friend in the middle, and I always encourage them to talk to each other, because that he say, she say thing can just blow things out of proportion. So you have to talk to each other directly, and if you need to mediate that or facilitate that, then I think that's the best practice. But don't get into the business of being like, Regina said this, Marsai, so I don't know how you want to deal with it. I would encourage Regina to talk to Marsai directly.
Yeah, don't talk around it. Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to tell you what she just said about it.
Okay. Team.